Hello students, welcome to the biology class. Today we begin with chapter 10, that is Adolescence. Adolescence, very important chapter. Adolescence and puberty, these are the two different terms, but these two terms they are very closely related to each other. So let us first see what is the meaning of adolescence and puberty. So first we start with the adolescence. The period of life when the body undergoes changes leading to reproductive maturity is called adolescence. Adolescence period is between the ages of 10 to 18 years for girls and 11 to 17 years for boys. So the most important term in this definition is reproductive maturity. Adolescence start at the age of 10 and lasts up to the age of 18 years. Now come to puberty. Changes in body that mark the onset of puberty, and it ends with the individual becoming capable of reproduction. Puberty age is generally 11 to 16 years in boys and 10 to 15 years in the girls. So puberty are the changes that happen in the body of an individual when the puberty begins, and puberty in boys is 11 to 16 years and in girls it is from 10 to 15 years. So puberty in girls happen 1 year before boys. So we will now, this is all about these two terms, adolescence and puberty. Now we come to the changes that take place during puberty. So first change that occur during puberty is increase in height. You might have noticed that some of your friends suddenly grow in height. This increase in height is due to elongation of bones in the body. The bones of arms and legs, they elongate. Then heredity, or we can the height of the child, that is inherited from the parents, means it depends on the genes that they inherit from his or her parents. So you can tell, so how tall are your parents, your height depends on that. Now next change that occurs during puberty is changes in the body shape. As the body grows taller, you will gain weight and overall shape would change. In boys, the shoulder and chest widen and the body become more muscular. In girls, the region below the waist becomes wider, hips broaden due to deposition of fat, and breast develop. Now next change is change in voice. Boys develop low pitched voice, means a deep voice, whereas girls have high pitched voice. Larynx or the voice box begins to grow. In boys it can be seen protruding in the neck, while in girls it is smaller and cannot be seen. So cannot be seen protruding outside the neck. So this protruding part of the throat is known as the Adam's apple. Now the next change is increased activity of sweat and sebaceous glands. Dear students, human skin has two important glands, that is sweat and sebaceous gland. Sebaceous means oil gland. The sweat glands produce sweat while sebaceous glands produce oil which keeps the skin oily. And during puberty, the secretion of both these glands, that is sweat gland and sebaceous glands, increases. The increased secretion of sweat gland may result in a characteristic odor of the body, and due to the increased activity of the sebaceous gland, many teenagers get acne, or we can say pimples, during puberty. Now next changes that occur during puberty is development of hair. Hair develop under armpits and in the pubic region in both boys and girls. In boys, facial hair and hair on the chest also develop. Now next important change is development of sex organs. During puberty, reproductive organs develop in size and become fully functional in both boys and girls. In boys, testes and penis develop completely and start to produce the male gametes. Gametes are, what are gametes? That are the sex cells. In girls, the ovaries enlarge and start releasing mature eggs or ova. So the sex organs, that is testes in males and ovaries in females, start producing hormones during puberty. In boys, testes produce hormone known as testosterone, and in girls, ovaries produce a hormone known as estrogen. So, in boys, development of facial hair and hair on chest is due to testosterone hormone, and in girls, growth of breast is due to the hormone known as estrogen. Now, next comes changes in behavior. Besides physical development, mental, intellectual, and emotional development also occurs during adolescence. They start spending considerable time on thinking, planning, analyzing, evaluating, and exchanging views and ideas with one another. They need the company of friends and get attracted towards opposite sex. They become more conscious about their looks, how their hair is looking, whether they are dressed up well, or whether they have applied perfume or not, or am I looking good. So they become more conscious about their looks. They also undergo a period of emotional changes, may get depressed and have mood swings such as being happy, sad, angry, excited, or irritated. They think they need a greater degree of freedom, independence, and privacy. So dear students, all these are the changes that takes place in boys and girls during puberty. So I hope it is clear to each and everyone. So now we come to next term, that is secondary sexual characters. What are these characters? Changes that help to distinguish the male from the female are known as secondary sexual characters. Let us take an example. In girls, breasts begin to develop, and in boys, facial hair begin to grow. So these changes are unique to boys and girls. Means girls, they develop breast, and boys, they develop facial hair. So such type of physical changes that are visible in both males and females and distinguish them from each other are known as secondary sexual characters. So this is all about today's lecture. I hope it is clear to each and everyone. So goodbye.